What's up, everybody? This is Fishers of Men. I'm looking at an article today titled Star Wars Lucasfilm President Weighs In on the Future of the Franchise. And what this should actually be titled is Star Wars. Lucasfilm just found out there's an expanded universe that they threw away. That's pretty much the gist of it. Now, before we get too far into this, I do want to get to a Rolling Stone article that was published about a year ago before The Rise of Skywalker came out. And in this article, Kathleen Kennedy was asked if this final entry in the trilogy was a tough nut to crack. And she said every one of these movies is a particularly hard nut to crack. There's no source material. We don't have comic books. We don't have 800-page novels. We don't have anything other than passionate storytellers who get together and talk about what the next iteration might be. Which, anyone who's a Star Wars fan knows that is 100% false. They had the EU, they relegated it to Legends, they cut it out, they said this isn't what exists. We're going to make our own stuff. But to go back years later and say, there is no source material, we don't have that stuff, and she's obviously comparing it to Marvel, saying that there's no source material that they can base these movies off of, while Marvel has all of these comics and things that have spanned back years and years and years that they can base movies off of. And that's why Star Wars is so hard for them. I remember seeing this article and being so disappointed and frustrated at the time. But now we get back to today's news. Disney currently has 3 Star Wars release dates secured, beginning in December of 2023, but according to Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy, the studio is attempting to step back from the franchise to reevaluate what the best strategy is for the series moving forward. Which essentially is them saying, we know we've got a movie coming out in 3 years, but we have no idea what it's going to be about. Here's an idea, use some of the Legends stuff that you threw away. The stories that were actually good. The exec also noted that one of the initial goals of the sequel trilogy was to complete George Lucas's vision for telling a 9-part story. Great job. Way to go. I'm sure George Lucas is so happy with the way that turned out. But now that the Skywalker saga has completed, future stories in any medium can begin to explore thousands of years of mythology in this world, instead of focusing primarily on what fans will find most familiar. They could have done this at the beginning. They did not have to bring back and make a sequel trilogy. They did not have to bring back Luke Skywalker, Leia, and Han. They didn't have to. They chose to, and then assassinated their characters. George Lucas gave them script treatments, and they threw them in the garbage. It's frustrating to see how just disdainfully they've treated this whole property. How they've acted like it's just this thing that prints money, and that you don't need to write good stories to actually retain fans. It's an ever-evolving process, Kennedy shared with The Wrap. When I personally came into this, George had already been having conversations with the previous actors. Carrie and Harrison and Mark, there was a saga that the fans loved, but he never finished. He always talked about doing 9 movies, and he was ready to complete that. And so our focus had been, from the beginning, to finish that saga. And finish it they did. By assassinating the character of Han, by assassinating the character of Luke, and by bringing Carrie Fisher back from the dead. By throwing George Lucas's script treatments in the garbage. By writing stories that make zero sense. Yeah, they finished it. They finished Star Wars. She added, and now we're stepping back. Stories have been told within this universe over the last 40-odd years, and there's now the realization that this is a mythology that actually spans about 25,000 years, when you really start to look at all the different stories that have been told, whether it's in books and games. Okay, pause. Remember that article that I talked about at the very beginning? Remember when she said, we don't have books and games and comics? You remember that? Yeah. Apparently they just realized, there's now the realization that this mythology actually spans 25,000 years. Any Star Wars fan could have told you this. Any real Star Wars fan could have told you this. So apparently Kathleen Kennedy and the team at Lucasfilm just realized that there was an EU that they threw out. Despite the future movies, TV shows, novels, and comic books journeying to different corners of the galaxy far, far away, she noted that the priority is to honor the storytelling spirit that Lucas himself established with the original trilogy. Yeah, she's a liar. Their priority is not to honor the storytelling. If it was, episodes 7, 8, and 9 would not have turned out the way that they did. Neither would the Solo movie. No, what her actual priority is to make political stories that it doesn't matter if they're good or not. They're just, as long as they're political, as long as they check the right boxes in her political narrative, that's her priority. We just need the time to step back and really absorb what George has created, and then start to think about where things might go, the executive pointed out. That's what we've been doing, and we've been having a great deal of fun doing it, and meeting with lots of different filmmakers and talent. There's so many fans out there, and so many filmmakers that have been influenced by Star Wars for so long that it's a fantastic opportunity to get a sense of who wants to be a part of this. Yeah, everybody wanted to be a part of it. Lord and Miller wanted to be a part of it, and then you scrapped them. Last year saw the release of The Rise of Skywalker, and while the film earned mixed reviews from fans and critics, the first live-action Star Wars TV series, The Mandalorian, has almost unanimously been praised. which I have my own problems with The Mandalorian, but I'm not going to get into that right now. With more seasons of that series on the way, in addition to a number of other confirmed TV projects, Kennedy noted the importance of that serialized storytelling for the franchise's longevity. When asked if she felt TV was becoming an integral component of the series, Kathleen Kennedy confessed, "I do, and I've already seen evidence of it. The ability to be very character-driven with extended storytelling and connected storytelling. I think this space offers us a great opportunity to do that." And then it talks about the next Star Wars movie. Look, this just is telling me that she doesn't know what she's doing, and she doesn't know what she's talking about. Star Wars was around for a long time, and was very popular for a long time, without serialized TV shows. The original trilogy and the prequels were very character-driven, and had good connected storytelling. All the video games and books, Knights of the Old Republic, the Darth Bane series, the New Jedi Order series, all that stuff, very character-driven, with extended and connected storytelling, not a serialized TV show. Anyways, the point is this. They just came to a realization that this mythology spans 25,000 years. These are the people running Star Wars. And they're just now like, oh hey, there's a lot more to this than we realized. Let's look at some of that and see what we can do. They've had 3 Disney Trilogy movies. They've had 2 Star Wars story movies. They've had all of Star Wars Rebels. They've had 1 season of The Mandalorian. And they're just now realizing, hey, there were some really good stories told that we threw away. And this is why I can't stand Disney Star Wars. This is why I'm so disappointed as a longtime Star Wars fan. And this is why, even though the fact that they're mentioning this now kind of brings me hope, really what it does is make me angry. Because they've said before that they didn't have the source material. And now they're saying, oh yeah, we did, we forgot. Let me know in the comments what you think. Does this give you hope? Does this make you angry? Just let me know. If you liked the video, go ahead and like, subscribe if you want to. Thanks for watching. I'm Fishers of Men, and I will talk to you later.